fighters, considered great fighters. You want to lead the best, fight the best.
Welcome to another video of the Boxing Roundtable with your man Jose, aka the Dominican Dream, and my man,
the Maniac.
And we are ready to talk boxing. We're about to break down one of the biggest fights of the year. Naoya, the monster, Inoue versus Stephen Cool Boy Steph Fulton out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sean, a boxing fan's dream.
Man, first of all, that week is Christmas for us boxing fans, right? And I say that because we get this fight on Tuesday, and then that Saturday, we get Spence Crawford, right? What's the chances of that happening in 1 week, let alone 1 year, right? And these are arguably the 4 most talented fighters in boxing, period, through the whole 17 weight divisions that boxing has. But enough of that. Guys, listen. This is a fight that I've been waiting for, right? You have 2 of the most skilled small fighters in boxing. You have 2 of the most toughest fighters in boxing. And you have one fighter, Stephen Fulton, who has beaten 4 undefeated fighters in his last 5 fights. He just fights tough fight after tough fight. He's a unified champion at 122. This is at junior featherweight. Naoya Inoue, the monster, has already ran through multiple divisions. His last division was bantamweight. He was unified champion.
I believe he started at 108.
Yeah, and he's won belts in every division he's been in. And he's unified at 118. And what he does? No, he doesn't hold these belt hostages. He doesn't say, I'm waiting for my mandatories. He said, I want the best guy at 122. I want the best guy at 122. Other fighters take notes, man. But anyway, let's dive into this fight. I'm going to start off with the monster. If scientists was to build the fighter in the lab, you built Naoya Inoue. There is absolutely nothing on offense that he lacks. He has precision, sniper-like aim, meaning his counterpunching, his timing, impeccable, his combination punching, A1, his jab, the most underrated punch he has, because everybody sees him as a puncher. Guys, analyze it. You got to have a jab. And he's very technically sound. The guy has no weakness on offense, man. And he has a vicious left hook to the body. He does it all, bro. He's a mix of a Mexican, mix of a African American, mix of a Puerto Rican. He's exactly what I said. He is a lab experiment. Naoya Inoue is just a fighter that you're not going to see a lot in your lifetime, guys. I'm just being honest, right? I'm just giving you right now just what he possesses, right? These are the things he possesses and makes him great. His defense now, right, is very good. Very good. Now, not everybody is Mayweather. Not everybody is Pernell Whitaker, guys. But his defense is above average. And he's tough. Oh, yeah. Nonito Donaire fight 1. Broke his eye socket early in the fight. And what did he do? He fought like the monster he is. And he finished the fight. Won the fight. And what he did in the rematch, he left no doubt. He stopped Nonito early. Let me get to my boy, cool boy Steph now. Wow. the epitome of a Philly fighter. They don't care where they go, where they have to go, who they got to fight. They're going to be there. You know why? Because they know they're going to win, Dream. That's the attitude of a Philly fighter. We've seen it for years. And I tell you this, Fulton has beaten, of his last 5 opponents, 4 undefeated fighters. Stephen Fulton has it all, guys.
Including Brandon Figueroa.
And beat him in his own fight. And what's crazy is, and I'm going to get into that, Fulton has the full arsenal. He is one of the most technically sound fighters in boxing. Technically sound, counter punching, body punching. The only thing I would say Cool Boy lacks is the power, right? He is not a fighter.
And that's not a skill. You got to be born with that.
Correct. It's not something you're going to go into a fight worried about. But I tell you this, though. Guess what? He never backs down from a fight. He beat Brandon Figueroa, who is one of the biggest punchers at 122, one of the toughest fighters in boxing, period, and beat him in his own fight.
One of the most awkward and uncomfortable fighters to fight as well.
And beat him at his own fight. Now that I broke down their assets as fighters, Dream, break down the fight.
Interesting fight. Very, very interesting fight. And one that, in my mind, even as soon as yesterday, I told somebody I don't know who to pick. That's a toss up. That's a 50-50 fight.
100%.
But given the skill set, given the intelligence, given the audacity of Cool Boy Steph, and the fact that he is American and he is from Philly, I'm going to go with Cool Boy. And usually a lot of people might say, well, that's rare that he's going with the boxer in this one because I like the tough guys. But I like the tough guys with skill. Unlike you, I'm not big on a monster. I'm not big on them. Because when I watch fighters, I like fighters that have a game plan. Inoue is not a fighter that comes with a game plan. He's what I like to call a freestyle fighter, an instinctive fighter. He fights over instinct. In the ring, I can't tell what he's trying to do or what he's doing next. Or why did he do what he just did? I can't tell. It seems like he's really engaging, just being spontaneous and acting instinctively, using these reflexes and his God-given power to knock guys out. But when I look at Pitbull Cruz, he's there to break you down. He's going to go to the body. He's going to go to the head. He has a game plan. When I look at Errol Spence, he's going to break you down. He's going to start off with a jab, go to the body, finish up top, destroy you. When you look at Terrence Crawford, he's there gauging you, reading you. If he needs to be offensive, he's going to be offensive. If he needs to sit and wait like a cobra snake to strike and counterpunch, he'll do that. But there's thought to what he does. In a way, he reminds me of Nonito Donaire. He's better than Donaire because he has much more power than Donaire. But I never liked Donaire because Donaire's a guy who doesn't have a game plan. He used to do all these Superman left hooks and knock people out. And then he ran into a guy by the name of Guillermo Rigondeaux who does fight with a game plan. And he got outboxed soundly for about 11 rounds.
I was there.
So
I was there.
In this fight, Inoue is the smaller fighter. Power still devastating, but he is a smaller fighter. He's the fighter that has started at the lower weight class, about 108, and is now at 122. Fighting Cool Boy Steph, the best fighter at 122. And he's there to respond to that threat, to that calling out, to that. He's there. And not only is he there, he's going all the way to Japan to fight him. All the way to Japan. I don't care what network was on. He went and did that himself.
Philly spirit, man.
That's a thug.
Yeah.
That's a thug.
Yeah.
I really like his skill. because he's not a Malignaggi. He's not a Caleb Plant.
No.
He's not a one of these just pillow-fisted, just it's not fun to watch kind of boxers. He's a guy that's going to box, but it's also gritty.
Yes.
And he's a guy that, even though he doesn't have tremendous power, he has enough power to keep you honest and to be able to exchange with you.
Yeah.
So I think that he's going to come with a game plan because he's a boxer. Anyway, he's going to come to do what he does. I don't know what kind of game plan they're producing over there. I don't know who his trainer is. But I know Cool Boy is gonna come with a game plan. And I believe that the superior boxing skill and the size is going to be a factor of Stephen Fulton. It's going to be a factor in this fight. And I'm going to go with Stephen Fulton in a decision, even though it's going to be in Japan. And even if he doesn't get the W, I think it's going to be a fight that's going to be controversial and disputed, because a lot of us are going to say, yo, I think Steph won that fight. I don't know how objective the people in Japan are, being that they're very, very cool, calculated, cold, just they seem to be very objective people.
Yes.
Unlike others, when you go to Mexico,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to kill the Mexican to beat him.
Yeah.
You go to Puerto Rico, you have to kill the Puerto Rican to beat him.
Correct.
You go to Las Vegas, you have to kill the Vegas fighter to beat him. In Japan, they might be a bit more objective, and also depending where the judges are from.
Correct. That's huge.
That might also be a factor. But I'm gonna go with Cool Boy Steph. I think he has enough skill to perhaps, in some ways, embarrass Inoue. But Inoue has the problem with Inoue is that he doesn't have there's power, there's good power, and then there's extraordinary, almost unseen power, exceptional power, and that's the kind of power Inoue has. And we know power is the equalizer. So this guy has the ultimate equalizer because he can knock you out at any moment with any punch or down. So even if you're winning on the cards, he can even that out, just like Deontay Wilder. You can beat him 5-6 rounds, and then he'll put you down 2 times, and now the cards are even. So that's the problem with Inoue, and it's dangerous, and that's why it's so hard to pick. And he is fast, just like Fulton. He is tough.
Yes.
But I'm gonna go with the superior intelligence and skill of the boxer. I'm going with Steph Fulton.
Definitely, that was beautiful, man. Seriously, I like that breakdown, man. You touched on great, phenomenal points. A lot of the same reasons you have, I also have. I just think you mentioned it. I think this fight is gonna be controversial. The thing is also what makes the monster, his power so great is that his timing, man. He's one of the best counter punchers in the game, right? He's intelligent, man. He might be a freestyle fighter, it's true. You never seen him. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to see what you're going to do. But for the same reasons, I don't want to always agree, but I have to, because it's the truth. Fulton is the bigger fighter. I think his IQ is slightly better than Inoue. I think Cool Boy will rough up Inoue at times. I think he's going to have to do it. Kind of similar. I'm not saying the same. Similar to what B-Hop did to Trinidad in the Garden, right? Because it's kind of the same thing. He's a huge underdog going into a hostile environment. And Stephen Fulton is doing the same thing. And I'm not saying we get the same result. It can happen. Even with Fulton not being a big puncher, he could stop Inoue. Is he going to do it? I will bet no.
Nah.
But I can see him winning this fight. He's going to have to mix it up with Inoue. He's going to have to box him, rough him up, come out, counter. I still think boxing skill-wise, Fulton is the better fighter, right? All around, I give it to Inoue. I expect Fulton to mix it up. He got to make it ugly at times. He got to rough him up. We got to remember, guys, whether we know Japan is in Asia, these European fighters, these foreign country, these fighters from other countries, they not really used to that rough fighting. He got to make it ugly at times. He is fighting in enemy territory.
But
so his win must be definitive. But
question, Sean.
You did say objectively, maybe in Japan, even if it's a close fight, Fulton could pull it off. But I'm going with Cool Boy as well. Split decision.
Now, when you talk about making it rough, Cool Boy is he's a stylish fighter. He's a beautiful boxer.
Yes.
So how would he, or why? Well, not why, but how would he make it rough? Being that we saw it was rough in the Figueroa fight, but it was rough in the Figueroa fight because Figueroa is a guy that's gonna make the fight rough and ugly. But Steph don't need to do that.
Well, the reason,
I mean, how
right,
can he? Because he's not a brawler. He's not a puncher.
So what? He's not. You're right. He's not a brawler. He's not a puncher. Same way with B-Hop, right? He made it ugly with Trinidad.
Yeah, but he was an ugly. He had an ugly.
But
he was an ugly fighter.
But you see, every fight is not the same, right? Because in boxing, the same will forever hold true. Styles make fights, right? So sometimes you got to implement something different to your game plan, right? You got to add a little sazon. Like, oh, hold on. I know I normally don't add this seasoning, but for this chicken, I'm going to add this. It should do it well. So when I say rough him up, he's the bigger guy, right? You have to have your dominance. You want to go in there and say, listen, it's going to be a rough night for you, homie.
But have you seen him do that before?
I have with Figueroa, right? Because he made it like that.
He had to.
But I didn't see him. I can't recall the last. No, I haven't, because he's just so superior skilled than every fighter he has fought. But like I said, the skill set is not going to be a wide margin in this fight. I still think he holds that. But why I say that is that whenever, all right, Madonna, I'm going to give you an example. Madonna, Mayweather. What did he do? He made it ugly. He didn't do that with Broner. He boxed. He boxed beautifully in Broner.
Nah. He made it ugly.
No. He didn't make it that ugly. He made it rough.
He boxed Mayweather.
He made rough, and he
in the middle of the ring, in the middle rounds, and outboxed him with the jab.
At times, not the whole fight. He mixed it up. This is what I'm saying. Whenever you have a fighter, because you need to break rhythm, right? These fighter like Inoue, once he's in rhythm, it's like a pitcher, right? A pitcher. Like Pedro Martinez. I'm going to give you a perfect example. He was one of my favorite pitchers I used to love. If you don't score runs on him in the first 2-3 innings, it's over. Because he's in that zone. You're not hitting him. So, the same thing with these fighters like Inoue. You want to have him off balance. Don't let him get in his rhythm. Because that's gonna be ugly. He's gonna have to add some of that. But let's see. That's just my opinion from what I've seen. Because no one's beating Inoue, no one's beating Fulton. Now, it might be a case, like you said, that Fulton, the whole fight, he's on the outside. Bing, bing. He's countering, he's moving. Once the monster's in, he clinch, push him back, make him reset. Let's go again. So we'll see, man. I'm gonna pick Fulton. It's more of my heart. I just think the monster is a superstar. He's fighting at home. And if it's a close fight, but we know definitively Fulton won that fight, it might go to the monster. But I'm going to go with Cool Boy via split decision.
These are the styles where if you don't knock him out, you don't win. Points wise, by the Queens, the Marcus of Queensberry rules and the boxing rules we have today. Stephen Fulton, Naoya Inoue. If Inoue doesn't knock Fulton out, in my opinion, he can't win. But again, he has that equalizer, and there is an asterisk to that, or parentheses. Maybe he won't knock him out, but maybe he'll drop him 2-3 times. And that'll even the scorecards out. So that's how things can be a little even. A la Wilder Fury one.
Yes.
Where Fury
Dropped him twice.
Fury outboxed him. To maybe 9-10 rounds. But there was a round or two Wilder won, and he dropped him twice. So, and he was the champion. So, this guy's going to be at home. I'm going to still go with Fulton. I'm going to rock with Fulton. And Fulton, hope you do your thing. We're going to try to come as often and as efficiently as we can because we love the sport and we love doing these videos and we're just starting out. But support the channel.
Yes.
Share the channel.
Yes.
If you love boxing with a passion, if you love what we're doing, we're trying to go to the top. So you already know. Catch y'all next time.
1.